Yeah. I was just watching this guy on the internet, guy. He looks very similar to me. He's talks about geo arbitrage. He talks about how to max your financial bottom line. But he was also talking about, and I wanted to try to break it down for this video. I'm going to try to get you the YouTuber's name. I think his name's Chadwick Bailey. He does like cryptocurrency videos. He's pretty cool too. He's kind of like one of these edgy guys that like steps out of the box and talks about like crypto, like geo arbitrage and all these other cool things that I think are pretty cool. So I wanted to make a video on it and make a video on what he was talking about. So with Zcash, what he's talking about is the potential for it to keep going up in price. And the reason it could potentially go up in price is for a variety of reasons. Let me give them to you. So when people look at a cryptocurrency, they usually a lot of times they click off the video. They ignore what it is that one is saying simply because they've either invested in the space before and lost all their money or hasn't gone well. There's been a variety of negative attributes attached to cryptocurrency for most people, I think, right? So maybe not, you know, for me, not. So I'm going to expand on that. So Zcash here recently is about an $8 billion market cap. So Zcash is not just a cryptocurrency, it's its own network. Okay, it's its own network of users that are like me, that are like this gentleman on the internet who use cryptocurrency as a privacy function, as a privacy tool to increase our privacy, to increase our ability to transact privately. Now, in simple terms, is not that I'm out like spending Zcash all the time and, you know, paying people with Zcash. I'm not really doing that. However, I am supporting this movement because I do think that governments, I do think that politicians, governments, and all these data centers and AI should have less control over my privacy. And by being part of the Zcash community, I'm stepping into that world where I'm choosing to support something that has humankind's best interest on the privacy side. So with Zcash too, I want to talk about, for one, the price. Because it's up today. It's actually doing pretty well. I've been kind of looking at it here recently. It's been going back up. It's up from $20 to $670, and now it's came down, and now it's back up to $511, which, if you guys are investors out there, you know the magnitude of how big of a gain that is. It's literally over 1,000%, which is a 10x. Now, a lot of people will shy away once they hear that, you know, this is up this much, because the last thing I want to, you know, the last thing this gentleman wants to do is tell me to invest in something that is up this much, right? Because typically if you invest in something that's up that much, when it goes down, you lose your investment or you lose a substantial amount of money. But I'm going to break down also why I think that in this particular case, that Zcash is probably something that people should keep their eyes on, and something that I wish people would have listened to me back in 2023 and 24 when I was like the only person on the internet talking about Zcash on YouTube, on the YouTube world. And we'd all be sitting here, you know, in better spirits, ready to talk about what I'm about to talk about. So with Zcash, it's got 21 million coins. Okay, it's basically a copycat of the Bitcoin code. All right, so think of like mining, think about energy and how that's incorporated into all these things that drive the security of Bitcoin itself, right? We've heard of this. We've heard plenty of people come public and try to really ingrain this into our heads because they want us to understand the value, so we'll invest our money in it. So the problem with that is that, unfortunately, for a lot of people, they don't really understand what it is they're investing in. They hear these things and they kind of want to be part of the group, or they want to be part of the people that are talking about them. They want to be edgy, right? They want to be cool, and they put all their money into something that they don't really know what they're talking about. So before I digress too much, I want to throw this out there, that Zcash is basically a better version of Bitcoin without the name Bitcoin. Okay, and there's some other versions of Bitcoin that we're going to make other videos about, but Really, I think Zcash is one of the best, okay? Because for one, it's got a certain amount that will ever exist. That's going to be 21 million. All right, it has all the cool things that Bitcoin has in terms of energy components going into it to secure the network, right? If I'm a Zcash user, you're a Zcash user, and there's 20 million people around the world that are Zcash users, and there's 10,000 computers around the world that are validating certain rules for us to take part in, that become infinite amount of people around the world using it and taking part in these certain rules. It really becomes a sound cryptocurrency. It really becomes a legitimate form of payment system, right? Because I can actually use my phone or use my computer, or I can use a random device that I plug in a password or a seed phrase, and then I can have access to Zcash to send to people anywhere around the world. And I think a lot of people got they forgot about this. They forgot that like crypto you can actually send to people. They got so super focused on it being a investment and the price going to go up that they kind of really lost focus on what it actually is. Okay, so I can send you Zcash. You can send me Zcash. And on top of that, if I want, I can also send you Zcash, and you can receive that Zcash without anybody knowing the amount, without anybody knowing where it came from, and without anybody knowing where it went. So that creates kind of a double-edged sword. And let me explain why, is that the governments don't really like that. Okay, they want to know who's paying who's receiving what. That way they can charge us a little thing, some type of tax, or collect our data to add it to their algorithm to control our money supply, or any of these crazy things that sound like science fiction, but actually are indeed what happens. So to avoid that, Zcash is the way it's built, the way that it's constructed, is that it still fits into the financial regulations for accounting and tax purposes. So it is one of the unique privacy cryptocurrencies that allows you to utilize it the way it's structured into a way where accountants and CPAs can still account for it, okay? And there's various ways. We're not going to go into the complexities of it. You guys can look more into it. There's more information. But it's one of the only cryptocurrencies that can do that. So I think that is a pretty unique thing that separates a cryptocurrency like Monero or Firo from Zcash itself. But not to mention, Zcash is much larger than a lot of privacy coins. Monero is probably, it's obviously the second largest, but really a lot of the privacy coins like Firo, Xano, Horizon, they're much smaller in market cap. So it also, the reason I'm pointing that out is it does really make sense to look at who the big dog is in the room, all right? This guy. So you got Zcash, all right, is the biggest cryptocurrency. I think last I checked, it's number 12, I think. 8 or number 12, I can't remember. It's jumped to almost a little under 9 billion. So it's up there in terms of market cap. It's also been around for like a decade. It's been over, it's been 10 years now since Zcash has been in the talks, right? Since it's been in the crypto world being discussed. And, that says a lot, right? Because if a cryptocurrency is here 10 years, into it, and it's appreciated in value, and it's, it's up in price, right? It gives us something to talk about with it, right? I mean, there's also coins that have been around for several years that, they're basically not worth anything. So Zcash is up in price, all right? And when it first got launched, it was technically more than it's up now. But if you read back into that, there was some things with the way they listed it on the exchange. Now it really has become like a decentralized cryptocurrency and like a free market, and a market of participants that really do want it to succeed, which I think is a lot for a cryptocurrency, because a lot of coins, the communities come and go. The founders come and go. The hype comes and goes, and the technology, it just fades, right? They're not really making anything that is really beneficial for anybody. Plus, it doesn't go up in price, so that kind of just adds to the picture of it being kind of worth nothing, right? So you got a couple different things. You got it's like Bitcoin, but better. You have it's over a decade now. I don't know exactly when the first block was mined, but if it's not over a decade, it's damn near coming up on it. It's been increasing in price. The people that have been in the crypto world that have been here for a while, they've been talking about it the whole time. It always gets like discussed at one point or another, and a lot of that is directly attached to the fact that the price is up. But it seems to be one of these standout coins that when we do enter this thing where everybody starts talking about crypto again, which it will happen. I think cryptocurrency is probably the most undervalued market there is right now. I really do. I think cryptocurrency, if you look at other markets, it seems to be the most undervalued. And this was kind of where we were at in 2020 when this whole COVID thing happened, where it became really popular really quick, and we saw coins like Dogecoin and Bitcoin and all these coins go up monumentally. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. We're at this bottom level where nobody's talking about crypto. I mean, they are, but people aren't, right? They are, but people aren't. And what that leads me to believe is an enthusiast and a somebody who's fully invested in cryptocurrency for the last almost decade. I believe that I really do believe that Zcash has the potential. It has all the factors to be a breakaway coin in a bull run, meaning it could be like the one coin that, like a Dogecoin of 2021 in the present. All right, and I have no way of guaranteeing this. Obviously, this is what I think that Zcash could do, simply because the volatility it's been playing with in the recent times, guys, back under $200, back up to almost 600, down to 500, and so forth. It's got a lot of volatility. There's a lot of people shorting it. There's a lot of things, and it's risen from a couple $100 million to now an $8 billion market cap. It's like a founder's, it's like a founding fathers per se coin in the crypto community. Like, if you've been in crypto for a while, it seems like a no-brainer that you own some, and that's kind of why I own some. I never thought Zcash would be like this much of a jump into it, but I knew that I should own some, right, from a crypto enthusiast standpoint. So I think Zcash really could be I guess what I'm getting at is Zcash really could be one of these coins that is that breaks away and goes a lot higher than people actually think. Like, it could be one of these coins that a lot of people are like eyeing the $1,000 or $2,000 level. But if you really think about it, where we're at in this crypto stuff, and how much we're potentially undervalued, like, could Zcash be like a $15,000, $20,000 coin? Like, it makes me wonder, like, is this possible for a coin to break away similar to Dogecoin, how Dogecoin did? I mean, guys, we're up a 35x against Ethereum in the last year. Does that put things into perspective? Not from the year to date. From last year, we're up a 35x against Ethereum. So if Ethereum starts jumping up, I don't think Zcash is going to go down against Ethereum. I think it's just going to go up against the dollar. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see like a flush of a lot of these cryptocurrencies rally against the dollar, but we're also going to see some that increase potentially against BTC and Ethereum. And like I said, it's a 35x, guys, meaning if I took one Ethereum last year and bought as much Zcash as I could at like 35, 40 bucks, wherever it was at, I'd have 35 Ethereum right now. So it's still going up. It's not like it's retracted. It wasn't just a jump up, slam down type deal. We see this a lot of times. Zcash is not presenting that. So I do think Zcash has the potential, and I do think other coins do too, and I'm going to kind of cover those in further videos. But I think Zcash has the potential to be a top performing coin, meaning I think it could actually have the potential to pull market share from Bitcoin. And, I don't want to go as far to say out there it's going to overtake Ethereum or overtake Bitcoin. I don't know that I'm that confident in that yet, but I do know that there's like usually one or two coins that blows people's minds Last time it was Dogecoin and Cardano, ADA token. ADA token from the top to bottom did 100x, 10,000% gain. Dogecoin, same thing. It blew people's minds. I think that coin could potentially be Zcash. No promises, but you know, I wanted to make a video and see kind of what people are talking about, because it seems like the momentum's dying with Zcash on people talking about it while the price is jumping up, that's usually how it happens. All right, you guys let me know in the comments section. I want to know what you think, and we'll continue to make videos on cryptocurrencies, financial freedom, geo arbitrage, and financial bottom line and how to increase it. All right, see you soon.